Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good night. Got a few new things today. Well, if you didn't catch me last night, we'll talk about this again real quick. It's kind of worn, but these seated Liberty coins were circulated for quite some time. This is an Orleans Mint one with the O in the middle. But, like I said, they circulated a lot. All right. So I go to my coin shop today. One of the first times I see is this 1908 Barber. It's $3. And it too is an O mint, but the O is kind of almost gone. You only see the top of it anymore. A little bit more wear on the back on this, and then this will be undetermined. You won't be able to see the O mint. Okay, and while going through my collection, I found this Booker T. Washington $half that I knew I had it, but I wasn't really sure where it was. And commemoratives, you'd think they would carry more premium. This one's not low circulation, though. That's why it really doesn't carry a lot of premium. Didn't make very many of these most years, but this is probably the most common of them. It's pretty neat. They made quite a few of these type of commemorative coins. Now, someone's out there, please say hi in the chat if you would. By the way, don't buy specific presidential things too often, but this is Ronald Reagan, and he was quite a comedian with his one-liners and stuff. This is highly polished, proof-like type thing. It's probably copper nickel since it's only $1. It's kind of big though. Might be about as big around as a Morgan dollar is. All right, moving on away from those to the stuff I really got today, other than those two, the 1908 O and the Reagan dollar. So if you've watched many of my videos, you've probably seen this. This is America the Beautiful bar, gold-plated silver, that crocodile on it and stuff, and it says America the Beautiful on the back. Well, America the Beautiful, 3/9 fine silver, HM mint, which I think is Highland. Now, go to my coin dealer, and he's got more bars than he's had in a long time, actually, loose, generic style. So I'm digging through him, and I find this one. Hello, dolls. Are you done on your live stream? I know you've probably seen this. Gold-plated silver bar I show often. Well, I go to my coin dealer, and he's got a big bag of bars, probably 40 or 50 of them, all generic ones. This is a jazz band playing, but when you flip it over, this is another America the Beautiful. America the Beautiful, I think they made at least one for every state. 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine silver. I don't know what the 75 PHM is supposed to mean, but anyway, it says French Quarter, New Orleans. And I don't know if I can read this well enough through the screen I get to see on this. It's not very big, but New Orleans, which is who made this, 1908 O. And if you didn't see this the other day, dolls, 1854 O. It's kind of beat up, but it's a 54. It has arrows, and it's kind of worn. Got the O in the middle of the reef or bow. I think they call these older ones a bow, and the ones that are a little bit newer and have the back like this, they call it a wreath. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. America the Beautiful. It says French Quarter, American, yet unmistakably foreign. You glimpse through the present into the 18th century France in the famous French Quarter of New Orleans. Yeah, this is kind of neat. I don't know what all the other designs are, and this does look like it might have, well, it doesn't say, like this one says EGP, electroplated gold, and it's supposed to be 24 karat. It says 24 karat on it. Now, I thought all these would probably be gold plated, but this one probably isn't. Doesn't say nothing about it on the edge. It just has a number, 049. And this one has 0975. I do not have any idea how any of these made. This is only the second America the Beautiful silver bar I've ever seen. Well, it's saying someone else is there. AG Stacker. Yeah, I think they made one for every state. This one's for French Quarter in New Orleans. And I know you'd like that. And since you're 1908 Orleans, dime, 1908, the O's about gone, but it's still there, barely, the top anyway. The rim damage on the back of this one's pretty bad. But and then the 1854 seated one I got. But I thought that was pretty neat seeing another one of these. And I'm pretty sure if I see more, I'll probably buy another one. By the way, I done an ice test on this because I don't have a Sigma. Noted the ice real quick like it's supposed to. Now, you're still watching AG Stacker. I know you're going to like this. USS Constitution. This is 1974. Honest value never fails. Well, this is a really nice looking ship design on this. And on the back, it's this way. Provo, Utah, USA, the Constitution Mint. 1 troy ounce pure silver. I also ice tested this one. Noted the ice real quick like it's supposed to. Well, anyway, this is Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution. It says, no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt. Well, we all know that this doesn't apply anymore because we're not on a gold or silver standard anymore. But anyway, that ship is just wonderful. But yeah, that jazz, as soon as I saw the jazz band playing, I was like, is this going to be another America the Beautiful bar? Because I knew it's the same size and shape as this one is. I don't have a lot of bars. This is only the third 1 ounce bar I got in my collection. The other one's a Morgan design one. All right. But yeah, this is real nice. Now, this is the coin. Well, this is really a round, Dolly. It's a generic round. It doesn't have any denomination, and it's not issued by a government. So this is just a generic silver round. In fact, I think you can still buy them pretty commonly online because I've seen this honest value never fails ship design before. It just I didn't have one. But anyway, we'll talk about something else that is kind of key to my heart in a way. old foreign coins. This says key date on it, 1893. It's a 2 shilling South African coin. Yeah, well, he had some other ones that were thinner and bigger, and then some that were similar to this size, actually. I think he had one that's even fatter. Yeah. Anyway, going back to this. This is sterling silver, by the way. It's worn a bit, and it's the guy they put on the Krugerrands, modern Krugerrand silver and gold. Yeah. But anyway, this is 2 shillings, says South African Republic, 1893, 2 shillings. It's sterling. Says silver up here, 925. It's 0.3364 ASW. It's considered a key date one. It's kind of low mintage. Now it says 50, but is in a box of a bunch of foreign silver and copper, nickel, and other type older coins. Some of them much older than this one, but 40% off. So it was $30. Well, when I was looking online, someone was trying to sell this very coin online on, I think it's eBay, and buy it now was like $95. Now it was probably less worn than this one is. But, you know, this is not one that you can get very easy because I think the mintage was, if I remember correctly, like 500,000 something. That's pretty low for any coin. And, you know, does have neat stuff on it. A lion sitting there. A military guy with a rifle, and then cart. That's probably some kind of coat of arms or something, but it's worn pretty bad. It has some kind of design on it, but it's worn enough I can't tell what it is. But in a way, this was kind of the key find of the day for me. 1893 is a pretty big, you know, year for low mintage coins in the U.S. You know, we had a financial crisis back then, and they didn't really make a whole lot of stuff then. But while you're still around, I don't really show too many presidential type things other than dead presidents. JFK being and any other coins that have president heads on them. This is a Ronald Reagan medallion of some sort. Fair likeness of him from 84, American president. It's kind of proof, and we'll blind you with the light. It says Double Eagle Presidential Commemorative. And it has 2 eagles on it. This don't weigh very much for this how big as it is, because it's probably just a nick bigger than a Morgan dollar is. But it's copper or something, nickel, copper nickel or something. I mean, I guess it could be one of the medallions that are silver plated, but it's certainly not 1 ounce silver all the way through. If it was, it'd probably be pretty cool. Anyway, that's the stuff on my new stuff. Now, one thing I do need to do is take my box of dimes and fill it into the just sent one to Stacking the South. Don't tell him. An odd size 1 ounce bar. He'll be happy to get that. But this does have some kind of dark toning on the bottom. Or at least it looks like it. This one's electroplated gold on it. It even says it right here, 24 karat EGP. Then it has a serial number, or maybe the number of how many they made of these. I don't even know how many they made, truth be told, of each one. I'm pretty sure they made one for every state, though. but I do like it. I do like it quite a bit. But anyway, let's talk about the dimes that I got. Now, don't know if you've seen this, AG or Dolls. I'm gonna grab them. Okay, what we have here, the ruler will tell you this is a 14-inch long box. In the black one, entirely full of dimes, silver dimes. There's Barbers, there's Mercury's, and then there's Roosevelt's. Entirely full. The red box. Oops. One side's mostly full of dimes, and the second side's kind of loose, and well, I need to fill this in. And I'll show you what I have. I have this black box of dimes that I need to fill into this red box. I'm having a good feeling that once I put all these, and these are mostly Roosevelt's, and I'll put a few of them in here upside down. That's funny. Upside down. But they're mostly Mercury's and Roosevelt's in this, and they're not really very well in order. So I need to sort them better and then fill these out of this into this and see if this will be full. Well, no, if it was half dollars or Morgan dollars, it would, but dimes don't weigh that much. So these boxes, these bigger boxes, probably about 260 dimes, maybe 270 tops. But you got one of these full Morgan dollars or Peace dollars or both mix, it would probably be 10 pounds because it would probably top out at about, it'd be less than the dimes because they're thicker coins. And you don't want to stuff them in too tight until you flatten all your staples out like this one is. This one's flat. It's a 56 uncirculated Roosevelt. And I have a 56D in here that's slightly circulated. I haven't had time to flatten that. And you want to talk about some odd toning. That almost looks like it's gold plated. I mean, that's a blast white, and then this one is kind of yellowish looking. But yeah, I need to go through that other box and sort them, and then here's a proof one. Obvious proof. Look at the way it shines. There's no mistaking proof. These older ones. And there's no mistaking the newer ones where they frost the top and the fields are real shiny. You don't mistake that for one that isn't. And I'm not even sure on this one how many of these are actually just Roosevelt dimes. There's quite, all told, this is about a little bit less than halfway on this, the second half. So I'm pretty sure this box here, which isn't, it's probably about, okay, it's that short of being full. when I put it up there, line it up kind of with those and see that that goes to about the end, I'm thinking it'll fill it all the way up. Then I'll have two complete full boxes of dimes that there isn't a coin dealer in town that's got this many in boxes like this. I can tell you that right now. Most of them don't have very many dimes on display anyway. And I've never encountered these 14-inch boxes at a coin dealer yet, or even at a coin show full of coins ready to be sold. So the first time I go to a coin show and try to sell some dimes and show this, I'm going to blow people away by how many there are. That's my plan to do with these, because most of these are common dates, and I want to turn common date stuff into more rare coins. Okay, AG Stack, you're still around. Here you go. Orleans Mint. I know how you love these. This one's not worn very much, so the hole's pretty strong. Does have a little bit of wear and damage on it, but it's $4 when I bought it. If I sold it today, I'd probably ask more and then hope I got it, and if I didn't, probably settle for $4. Because I don't really expect to make a lot on any of these coins. This is more like a savings account to me, these coins. They're not, probably won't be too many of these. That would be very, oh yeah, and then polished ones like this. Yeah, you probably won't even hardly, you'd probably be lucky to get that for it. Even though it does have a little bit better details, it's slicked up, polished. But this 1897 don't look too bad. Higher grade barber dimes, though, in any higher grade, see, this is going to be something I'd have to do too before I ever try to sell any of these. These damn staples, I hate them. And they all need to be flattened so that if you have better coins, you don't scratch them. Because that can happen. This one's kind of worn anyway. I mean, it's kind of flat. Sorry about the cough. Oh, yeah, that's how I plan on doing it. If I mean, I could go back to where I bought a lot of these, and he had some GSA Morgans, Carson City ones, but they're the common dates, the 82, 83, 84. I want to get one of the less common ones. And there's a couple of them that very, I shared it on Dolly's live chat. So some coin website place, I think it's for an actual coin shop, and they were showing approximately how many of each year the Carson City Morgans still exist today. I mean, they made millions of some years, but the number that still remain is pretty low. All right, something that might have caused confusion back in the day. 1916, later in the year, they started making more Mercuries. But they made 1916 Barbers too, so they had two different designs out the same year. And that might have caused some confusion. I know I'd be like, I don't like different coins for the same year, you know, the same denomination. So exception to some of these state quarter things, they're different, but not too bad. Where is that thing? That one. All right. 1913, they wrote fine. Has a little bit of a cleaned look to it to me. A weird toning, if not cleaned. I'm kind of thinking it's been cleaned. But the back's got pretty sharp details on it. Most of the stuff in this wreath, the corn and stuff, is clearly visible with still detail left on it. It was a little bit better than they often are, and it was only $4.50. But because it looks a little clean, Yeah, an AU 16 barber. Yeah, any AU barber coins is going to look nice because so few of them are around that are even in this good a shape. Yeah, it does look a little weird. I don't know. The front's toned up, and then the back looks like, I don't know. I don't know how to really explain what it looks like. The back doesn't look too bad, but I think it's been cleaned. That's all I can really say. Now, it is kind of odd the way the staples are on this. That guy who put those two in had the zigzag style staples. This is straight. I flattened them out so it wouldn't tear the coin up anymore or any. Now, sometimes they put dimes in these bigger holders. Only problem with that is with this one, it can start to slide out of the view anyway. This one don't look too bad either. It's Denver Mint one, and it's slightly worn but not horrible considering how long these stayed in circulation. These were I've heard older dealers tell me that their dads used to find these in circulation into the 50s. Off, that's a long time for you know say this 1897 coin to be still circulating in 1950. You're talking over 50 years, and it's still out there. I like my staples to be flat, and you can buy a stapler that does them flat, but most people don't but for coin dealers, they should always flatten them, because if you have nicer coins and you have these up and they start to pull away a little, that tip is sharp and it could go right across your coin and leave a scratch and tear up the plastic anyway. And then you have to either put it in a new card mount, or sell it as is. And yeah, I don't like them that way either. Just put it that way. I think this red box is mostly sorted. Some of these back here that are loose back here might be a little out of order, but I'm going to work that box into this. Not tonight, though. It's getting later, and I need to get some stuff done and get some sleep in. But I just did a video talking about, went live. It was talking about you buy bags of loose coins versus buying coins that are put in these cards, how you'll probably get a little bit better deal on the loose ones. Because the reason being is, if coin dealer has a bag of loose coins and he wants to sell them and card them up and stuff, he has to put them in the cards. So just imagine, if you would, coin dealers wanting to sell coins and somebody brings him a bag of loose constitutional silver and he buys all of it. And it looks like this. Well, the coin dealer has an option. He can reprice the bag, or he can take coins out of it and put them in these card mounts. Hello, John Jacobs. Good to see you. And he said hello to you if you didn't see it. So if you take this 45, which doesn't look too bad for the most part, it's got some toning and wear, but it's probably fine. It's a Denver mint. And the mint marks on these are really small, but it's a D. It does have a slight ring ding on it. So I'd probably be okay calling this one about fine condition. but it's very common. No, it doesn't, Dolly. It takes time. You have to buy the cards, and my coin dealer told me that the new round of ones he bought, he has to charge $6 for them. This 1920 is kind of worn. This would be one that if they threw it in a bag with 9 similar worn ones like this and put a price on it. And lately, I don't know about the last couple of days, but lately they've been about 20 times face, or $10 a coin. They might be a little lower today, especially if it's worn this bad and it's just loose. Because I did get some barbers that were worn pretty bad this last year. Like this one's dateless. If this is any more than about $7 today, you're probably paying too much. Damn it, slickery. Very slick, but you can't see a date on it. So a dateless one is just not going to carry any value, really. This is basically a silver chip. Yeah, the peace dollars, those mint marks get worn off the back pretty easy because they're so close to the edge. But since you're here, I do have a couple of them in this box. All right, I'm back. Took me a few minutes to find out which box this is. By the way, I'm looking into safety deposit boxes or other options for storing this stuff. It's a lot of stuff. That Morgan dollar don't look real bad. It's got a lot of chatter though. But since we're talking about fractional for $20 last week. John, I didn't realize you ran a channel. I'll have to go look at some of your videos and make a comment or two. There's a lot of people I watch videos from, so it makes it kind of hard to keep up with everybody. This 1881S is kind of nice. We can get the light to hit it just right. It's a pretty good mint luster on it. There's a lot of these that are graded though. On this one, I don't know. I mean, the chest feathers look pretty sharp. The wingtips, the head of the bird, the talons, all of it looks pretty sharp. It does have a little stain there and a little bit of a scratch. Not bad on it for the most part. These bag marks are pretty, not very deep or nothing. The cheek's not too bad either. This might actually grade a mint state coin, but there's so many of them graded. It's probably better. I found an 1893 IHP the other day, Tom. That's kind of cool. Anything from 1893 is U.S. coins is probably a little bit lower mintage. But I'm sitting there thinking, IHP, what does he mean? IHP. All right, let's just go back to this peace dollar I wanted to show. Oh, Indian Head. Yeah, wasn't even thinking about them. I've got a few of them. This particular piece dollar is not very chattered. Look at that price though. See, when I bought this, $19, that was super cheap. This thing looks like it's might actually grade mint state. I really don't know. I mean, in terms of the look of the coin and the blazing luster on it across that field there, that's just sweet. But it's a very common year. Very common. There is a little dinky mark, scratch, or something right there. But overall, the rest of the coin, that mint luster sparkles on this one. It's just nice. Probably the best looking piece dollar I have overall. And it wasn't very expensive because it's a very bag mark. Yeah, probably. Probably about a mint state 62, 63. Yeah, it might well be. And I do agree, it is a very nice one. It's probably the best looking piece dollar I have. So we'll put it back in the box a second and go talk about 34s and 35s and 28s. Now, obviously that's a 28 and it don't look too bad. It really doesn't. But estimates there. So this isn't a real expensive coin. However, since you were young, yeah. However, the 28S in higher grade becomes a very expensive coin. Now this one does have scratching this way. It's not super nice, but it ain't horrible either. Now, in mint state, this becomes a valuable coin. This isn't mint state, obviously. But even in a good floor, it's supposed to be higher than this. 34S, the estimate's over here. It's pretty small, but it's there. But I didn't stop at just one. Found another one. It's probably been cleaned or something. It's also 34S. And another one that's been slightly buffed, looks like. That's three of them, and I have a loose one. So I have four of these, which they only made 1 million and change that year. The 34 and 35s are lower mintages overall than most of them are. 35, it's just a Philadelphia one, not too bad though. A bit worn. Another 35. On 35S, it's a bit worn. And then this 35S does have a little chatter on it, and the mint lusters, I'm thinking this one might have been cleaned, and the kind of cleaning I think they did to it is what they would call whizzing. 34D, but not DDO. I don't know. Well, like I said, I think this one has probably been whizzed, because the way the mint luster is, it's not a cartwheel so much as it just kind of blasts around the coin. Whizzing doesn't do anything, but yeah, it is still pretty nice. It's not bad though. It is a better looking in terms of details, but there is chatter on it, you can see. By the way, these triplet loops, they got a 20.5mm lens, which I like way better than the 18mm. It's still a 10x one, They're not very expensive. I bought mine from CoinHelpU, Daniel's website. $6. So I'm like, it's not a bad price for a loop. And it's a pretty nice loop, actually. It's better than the 18 millimeter ones I have. I'll go ahead and put away these piece dollars and talk about the rest of this box. I'll just start thumbing through real quick. 78, 78S, 78, 79. Pretty much every year in this is represented by at least one coin, all the way through the 1880s, 1890s, 90 Carson City, kind of worn, 90S, 91, 91 Philly, 92, 92 D Denver, not Denver, Orleans, sorry. It looks like someone wrote D on it, but that's obviously an O, not a D. So it's just someone, they're writing, that almost looks like they put D on that too, but if it was truly a D on this coin, it'd be a fake. Because, yeah, this, I bought it from Daniel, CoinHelpU, $6. I didn't think that was too bad. Now, this is an old mint, 94. It's a little bit lower mintage. It goes, there's no 93s and no 95s yet. Those are 2 years I still need. Yeah, and there was no Morgan dollars that year, so John, the only Morgan dollar that's got a Denver on it that's legit is the 21. But anyway, we'll go back to looking this way. You'll see 92, then 94, 96, 96, 97, 97S, 98, 98, 98, 99, 19, 1901, 1902, 3, 3, 4. And then 21's in here. There's a couple of them. And then there's one of my 21 piece dollars. This one's a bit worn, but if you look at the spikes on this, you can see they're kind of fat. When you look at the 22 spikes, they're thinner. See how thick those are up there? Even though they're worn, then you look at the 22 and you see how thin it is. Well, the high relief was really hard to struck. New ones what? John, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you mean. But anyway, this wasn't particularly expensive because it's kind of worn, but it is a 21. I mean, it's quite worn. But when you look at the spikes on the 22 and then you look at the 21, I have a better 21 than this, but it's not super handy at the moment. Them are really thin. Those are kind of thick. If you got spikes on your 22 that looks like this, you probably have a high relief one. Yeah, piece dollar, yeah. But if you have a 22 high relief, they didn't make that many, and it's kind of valuable. So that's what you look for. Oh, I forgot about this 22 Denver. A few scratches. Not very much wear, though. And because of how big this field is on these, kind of get that wave effect in its luster. When the light hits it right, that is. This is kind of a beauty one. It's not bad. There are some scratches right there. Ouch. I need to fix them staples. Oh, you talking about the 2021 ones that they made? Yeah, the Denver one, The Denver one on the 21 had very bad quality in its the way they handled them. A lot of them come out scratched and messed up more than any of the other ones. It's harder to get that one in a good mint state without it having damage. So a lot of people have been sending them in to get them graded. And when they grade good, mint state, high, they actually become kind of valuable compared to some of the other issues that didn't have as many problems. I mean, I think the San Francisco ones, in terms of good looking, are about the best of the new ones so far as I know, and what people have told me, because I never bought one of them. But this box is probably $65 coins. It's pretty heavy. Well, you did well, because not all of them grade mint state. Mint state 70 anyway. Yeah, an 1890 Carson City that's worn pretty bad. I have a couple of these slicky looking Carson City ones. But funny story. When I bought this one, I told my coin dealer, yeah, I bought an 1878 Carson City. It looks about the same as this, for $50 off of you last year. And he had a weird look on his face because he's like thinking, did I sell a Carson City for $50? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. It's Carson City, and it was $50. And I took it back the next week and showed him, and he looked at it kind of funny. He's like, damn, I'm going to have to get a vault or something. I need to put these away better. I mean, I do put them away, but I mean better than I've been putting them away. I'd like to get one of them kind of safes that take about 6 guys to wrestle into your house. The bigger ones. The big. All right, let's go back to this 1899. It's been cleaned. I wrote cleaned on it because I know it was cleaned. It's not horrible looking though, even though it is clean. This is the last year I filled in so far on my year set. The 95 and 93 has proven a bit elusive. The reason why I know this was cleaned is because when I bought this, it had straight line dirt marks this way. And I took some acetone and a Q-tip and cleaned some of that dirt off of it. But anyway, I'm not sure what you mean on a buck and go. Paid only $50 for. If you got a Carson City for $50, you done well. And this is a Orleans mint, and there's a scratch down the back of it over here, which is kind of unfortunate. Other than that, the coin doesn't look very worn. A few scratches across the bird's chest, but unfortunately, like I said, it's been cleaned, and it's not going to ever grade uncleaned because, well, I mean, if I send an ANAX, buck and go auction, well, that's pretty good. And I would say that was a really good pickup to get a Carson City for $50. That looks good. Yeah, this one really isn't worn too much, but I know it's been cleaned. And I put cleaned right on it, so if I ever resell it, no one will be able to say, you didn't tell me that was clean. But I want to get a 93 and a 95. Don't see them very often because they're both lower mintages. I mean, real low mintages. Anyway, this particular box, it's probably about 5 troy pounds. It's heavy. It's like a brick. I mean, it feels extremely heavy. And now we'll talk about half dollars. Yeah, you did awesome. If you bought a coin for 50 and sold it for 300, that's, I mean, you bought it fair and square. In auction, if someone doesn't outbid you, that's on them, not you. Of course, I would think they would probably set some kind of reserve on them. Don't know if A.G. Stacker's still around. I know he likes Barber old mint coins. Orleans mint, that's an O. Guy sort of got, yeah, he should have set a reserve. On a valuable coin, you must set a reserve. Because if you don't put a reserve on it and then it does the bidding, don't go up much, then you're in trouble. It could get people fired not listing it properly. Well, what about that? 1901. Oh, I've got quite a few old men. I need to scrunch them staples too. 1903. Oh, A.G. Stacker's going to love seeing these if he's still around. That's right. I don't know what you should set the reserve on something like that, but it should have been higher than $50. It should have never sold that cheap. This one's a bit worn and flat. It's kind of just a step above slick. I mean, the rim is barely there on this side and going away on this side. And there's a nice sized ding on the O, scratch, the O and dollar. And it's an O mint. But by the way, all these O mint coins, these particular ones I have in this box, I've done videos for them, and they were some of my most watched videos. 1908, a couple of them did like 3,000 views, which is among the best of my videos. $80. Yeah, that's probably about as cheap as you could expect to get them. We'll put this one back. This box is just a couple coins short of being full of half dollars. 1909 and then another 1909. Strangely enough, though, I actually think this particular one looks a little bit better overall than this one does in some ways. Very similar wear patterns. Well, when I look at the back again closer, it's remarkable, the wear pattern on that, on the shield, and that on the shield. It's almost exactly the same kind of wear. The rim's a little bit more gone on this one, on this side, than this one. That's probably why this one was a bit more than this one. Not much difference, though. But I didn't expect to be live this long tonight. But I've got some viewers, so I have a little fun with it. Not really sure if there's any of these half-dollar walkers in here that are better. Most of these are ones I bought years ago when they could be bought for $6.75. And, you can't touch them at that price. I think $10.50 is about as cheap as carded up. That looks better. It's about as cheap as you'll get these. 20X, I bought some loose ones recently. With silver dropping a little lately, it's hard telling. It might have affected price some. And someone stuck this one in a dollar amount, so it's a little bit loose. 7 1/4 though. That's a fairly nice looking one for 7 1/4. But when you buy them years ago and the price goes up, that's what happens. And this one's just in a plastic, well, mylar, I guess, flip. These are called flips, and people refer to these as flips, but I kind of call them mounts, card mounts. This one isn't bad looking. Someone put very fine for condition. Does have some of the higher detail left. It's actually a pretty nice looking walker. If I was to sell it today, I'd probably ask for a lot more than 850 or 7 1/4 and 850. I'd probably put 15 on it, and if someone offered me 12, I'd probably take it. If I was selling, that is. And these go through, and then when you get gold plated ones, the gold doesn't add any value. Well, you got that many Wheaties. You didn't do bad, and then you had an Indian head in it. That's not bad, because I mean, you got them at the cost of. If you got them at the credit union, and you gave them $2, and they gave you 4 rolls of pennies and 4 of them rolls of wheats, you did well. I find them in my change occasionally. But yeah, this gold plating don't add any value to a coin like this. So if you see it, you know, it's a conversation piece maybe, but don't pay much more for it than what you would one that wasn't gold plated. Unless you just want one for an example like I did. I shouldn't have paid more than $10 for this one at the time I bought it, because this is really flat across the. It'd probably grade about good if it wasn't for the gold. The Indian head, yeah, I don't find them in change. Proof 1960 Benjamin. I know A.G. Stacker loves these Benjamin Franklins. If I get the light to hit it just right, you can see the bell lines on this at the bottom. There's a few up here at the top too. It's kind of hard to see them on this, but 9 rows left to go through. Oh, cool. Then in this, I've got quite a few 64s in this. I mean, do you think you could buy one for $6 today? I don't think so. This one, hello, old country coin collector. You missed a lot, but it'll be up there. I'll save it to where you can watch it later if you want to. I'm not the kind of person to take these down, because every person watching, if they watch the next day, it still counts as watches, views, hours. I need it. This 40% silver doesn't look bad at all. In terms of its wear, it's scratched up some. $4 is maybe a little more than I probably should have paid for a 40%er, but it's a little harder to get them in the silver than, especially loose. They put them in mint sets and coin set, proof sets. That's not. And you can sometimes find these copper nickel proof ones. Everyone's saying hi to everybody. And sometimes find these copper nickel ones in your change, not change. I mean, find them for sale at a coin shop. It's not silver, so it's not worth anything really. Don't pay a lot for them. But do want to thank A.G. Stacker for showing up. I want to thank Old Country Coin Collector for showing up. Dolls Dolly, John Jacobs, and who else was on here earlier? I thought I saw someone else's name. Going back through all this AG Stacker, I thanked him. Well, looks like I thanked everybody made a comment. So anyway, if you missed the first half of this or quite a bit of it and you want to go back and watch it, I'm going to save it to where you can watch it. It'll be on my YouTube channel for anybody to watch. And John, I'm going to have to go by and look at your channel because I did not realize you had a channel. Bought a roll of 40% Hass a while back. I've got like these kind of coin tubes, four of them, loose ones that I bought a couple years ago, $2 a piece. A lot of them. $2 a piece is a pretty good price on those. God, that's a heavy box. Carrying the box of halves in Morgan's together is pretty heavy. Put them away. All right. Going over some of the things that I did get real quick for anybody who missed the beginning. Got this generic round with the sailing ship USS Constitution on it, and a quote from the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, talking about what they need to make money out of. Not a problem. Then this is another America the Beautiful silver bar. 3/9's fine. It's only the third silver bar I have, and it kind of matches up with this one, which is the Everglades. And this is the French Quarter one, Louisiana. I want to get more of these, but so far I've only seen 2 of them at my coin shop. And, you know, silver bars, sometimes when they're loose like this, they get a little nicked up on the edges. That doesn't matter so much as long as they're not fake or something. And these silver rounds are considered generic. Yesterday's live stream, I showed this 1854 old seated Liberty dime, which those in the middle, the Ronald Reagan medallion, double eagle on the back, very shiny like a proof. I mean, real shiny. Bought this today, 1908. Oh, the O's starting to go away a little bit. Only the top part of those still visible. Found this thing back in my collection. I knew I had it, didn't know where it was for a while. Booker T. Washington commemorative $50. And then kind of what I consider the find of the week, this South African coin here. It's sterling silver. It's in 1893. And it's a key date, one of these. I looked it up at the shop when I saw it. On eBay, someone had a buy it now, one of these. Booker T. Washington, yes. Online, this 2 shilling one, someone had buy it now on eBay for $95. I think is a little bit better shape than this one. But in a box for 40% off, $50 made it $30. So I'm like, you know, I don't know how easy it'll be for me to sell this thing later, because I don't know how recognizable. Well, this is recognizable because Krugerrands have that same kind of look on them, but this isn't a Krugerrand, so it might be hard to sell, but I'm not worried about selling it right now. I'm just enjoying having it. This or the Booker T. Washington. Either way, they're both kind of nice. About the same size, too. Might even be the same size. But anyway, that's my live stream for tonight. It's 10:30. I do need to get running because it's late. I need to sleep tonight. the shilling. Yeah, it is. I like it quite a bit. I'm just, like enjoying the fact that I looked through that box because he had a lot of older ones too that were hundreds of dollars. Some of the coins some of them I didn't recognize. He had a couple other shilling ones like this that were smaller, but I didn't buy those because I wanted this one. Got a 1888 Indian head penny marked very fine at $10. It's probably extra fine for you. Well, if it is, that's nice. Sorry. Anyway, it is time to go ahead and wish you all good night. And I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'll save this where people can watch it anytime they want if they miss something. And I did buy this a few weeks ago, this first moon landing medallion, which I thought was pretty cool with the astronauts on it. But kind of neat. Dolly, I hope that you had fun with your live stream. I stopped there for quite a lot, and I thank you for stopping by mine after you did 30, 40 minutes on yours. And I hope when you go to sell the rest of them dollar coins, you get the price you need to make you not lose money on the rolls. Because, a roll, if you can't get enough money for all the different coins to make up for the price, then you're losing money, and that's not a fun place to be. Yeah, one thing about these, when they've been in these, sometimes the paper starts getting torn. Older ones. But y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time. I might go live a little bit tomorrow. I probably won't have anything new. I did spend pretty good today to buying this round and this silver bar, the shilling. The other stuff wasn't expensive, but those three items cost quite a bit. But I did have fun. I'm going to lose a little bit, but it's okay. As long as you don't lose too much and you had fun doing it, that's fine. I mean, you might get lucky later and sell a couple of them, of the Morgans you got in that box, or those rolls, I mean, at a better price than you got. You got pretty good price on a couple of them, though. But you just need more people watching. And I will thank everybody in my comments section, or not comment section, but details section, for stopping by, since I know everybody that stopped by. I know all their names, and I can tag all of you. So y'all have a good night, and we will see you next time. And anybody else ends up watching this later, if you like this kind of look through a bunch of different coins content, I've got quite a few of them, and I do this kind of live streaming often. Glamour and Lincoln's Head, a couple BIE 5657. Okay, cool, interesting. Well, John, I am going to go probably subscribe to your channel right after this. I may not be able to watch too many of your videos tonight because it's kind of late, but I'll watch some of them. Hello, Frank. That's a new name for tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Unfortunately, you're at the end of this live stream, so if you didn't see much of it, it will be saved where you can go ahead and watch more of it if you want to. But I hope you have a good night, and we will say goodbye to everybody now, and we'll see you next time.